Hello all my nursery friends, welcome back to a new nursery video. For today's video we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So for today's video we are going to become scientists. We're going to put on our thinking hats and use our thinking brains. We're going to become scientists and we're going to do a fun Halloween science experiment. Now you may be wondering, Hannah, what is science and what is a scientist? Well, I am going to tell you by singing a quick fun song called the Science Song. And when I sing the science song, the only instruments I'm going to be using are my two hands. I'm going to be clapping to the beat of the song, which you can do at home as well, or you can tap your knees to follow the beat. So I'm going to start singing the science song right now, so I hope you are so very ready. Evidence is like a clue, there's something that is true. Scientists collect evidence through observation and experiments. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. We need evidence to help us support our ideas. The more evidence we have, the stronger our idea is. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. Evidence is like a clue, it's something that is true. Science collects the evidence through observations and experiments. Scientists use evidence to understand the world around us. Yay! My friends, that is the end of our science song. So, in our science song, you heard a few key words. There were scientists. So what are scientists? Well, scientists are very smart individuals who try and find things out about the world, and they use 3 methods to do so. And we're going to use those 3 methods today in our own science experiment. So like mentioned in our song, the 3 methods that scientists use are to collect evidence, to make an experiment and observation, and to come to a conclusion. A conclusion is like an ending, a result. So, the first thing that we are going to do for our video, since we are our own scientists with our smart scientist brains on, is to find evidence to something. So, evidence tells us that if you take, this is vinegar. If you take vinegar, and this is called baking soda, you mix it into a plastic bottle, and you attach a balloon on top, evidence says that the vinegar and the baking soda create a special gas inside the bottle. And this gas is called CO2. And what CO2 does inside the bottle is it expands. It gets really big and it wants to leave the bottle. It doesn't want to be in the bottle anymore. So the CO2 rises from the bottom of the bottle up into the balloon. And what happens if there's a bunch of gas into the balloon, a bunch of air? The balloon expands. It gets really, 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 really big. So my friends, that's what evidence tells us. So for our video, we are going to do that experiment and see if it actually works. Does mixing vinegar and baking soda create CO2, and will it expand our balloon? So before we get started on our experiment, I'm going to go through all the materials that we're going to be using so that you can also replicate this at home if you want to as well. So the ingredients that we need for our experiment is some vinegar, baking soda, a empty old bottle, balloons of course, a Sharpie, and a funnel. And you may be wondering again, Hannah, how is this Halloween related? You said it's a Halloween experiment. Well, there is a reason why our balloons are green. We are going to make our balloons into my fun friend called Frankie the Frankenstein. So you see this fun friend around Halloween. He's actually a monster, but he's a really sweet monster. So we're gonna turn Frankie the Frankenstein into our balloon during our experiment and see if his head expands and gets really, really big with CO2. So now that we have all our ingredients and you guys know what we're gonna be doing, we're going to move on to our steps. Okay, so my friends, for step 1 of this activity, we are going to take our plastic empty bottle. I am going to unscrew it and put it somewhere where you can see. Okay, so here's my bottle. Now that I have my bottle there, I am going to take 1/2 cup. This is 1/2 cup. This is my measuring cup. This is 1/2 of vinegar, and I'm going to put vinegar in this 1/2 cup and then put it into my bottle. That is what we are doing for step 1. So here's my vinegar. I'm going to pour it into my measuring cup. All right, that is nice and full. Then I'm going to take my bottle and I'm going to pour the vinegar into my bottle. And there we go. Perfect. So now that you have your vinegar inside your bottle, it should be like 1/6 full. We are going to move on to step 2. So for step 2, we are going to take our balloon, we are going to take our marker, and we are going to try and color Frankie the Frankenstein's face onto our balloon. And I will show you how I do that. Okay, so my friends, now that I have completed my Frankie the Frankenstein picture onto my balloon, we are going to move on to step 3. So for step 3, I am going to take my balloon, I am going to take my funnel, and I'm just going to put my balloon onto my funnel, just like this. And then once that is on, we are going to move on to step 4. For step 4, I am going to take 1 tablespoon of baking soda and I'm going to put that into my funnel. So take a little bit of baking soda, put it into your funnel. You kind of got to tap it to get it into the balloon. And then add some more until you have a full tablespoon. Okay, so once you have all your baking soda into your Frankenstein balloon, you are just going to simply remove the balloon from the funnel and set it down. So now that that is complete, we are going to move on to step 5, which is our final step. So step 5 is to take our balloon And we are going to open the bottom of it up and place it onto our bottle. So it's kind of hanging off our bottle like this. Now, before I lift up the balloon and let all of the baking soda down into the vinegar, let's go back and think about our evidence. So, our evidence says that when we put baking soda and vinegar together, what gas is created? It is the CO2. CO2 is going to be created in the bottle. And then what's supposed to happen? Do you remember? The balloon, our Frankenstein, is supposed to expand and get really, really big. So I'm going to count down from 3, and when I get to 0, I'm going to let Frankie the Frankenstein drop all the baking soda into the vinegar, and we are going to see if our evidence is correct. Are we ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go. Whoa, look what's happening. What's happening to his head? It is getting larger and larger. And what's happening to the bottom of the bottle? Can you hear it? It is fizzing. So our balloon has been filled with our CO2. Isn't that so cool? Look how big Frankenstein's head is. Oh, it's so large, almost as big as mine. And it looks like all the baking soda has fizzled out. So I'm going to remove the balloon and let it go. Oh! Okay, my friends. So we've had our evidence. We've had our experiment. And now we're at our conclusion, the final. So we found out that when we add baking soda and vinegar together, it does actually create our CO2, and our balloon did actually expand and get really big and fill up with all that CO2 gas. So now we've completed everything. We are done being scientists for the day. We can take our scientist hats off because our experiment has been concluded, and we found out that yes, baking soda and vinegar do create CO2. So my friends, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed being scientists for the day, and if you do this experiment at home, I hope it works out very well for you. I will see you again next week for a new video, probably Halloween edition since Halloween is coming up. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you again next week for a new video. Goodbye, my friends.